So I want to talk about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man who has been deported to El Salvador, where the White House says they can't get him back. El Salvador doesn't want to give him back, but he wasn't supposed to be sent to El Salvador. So obviously there's a lot of politics around this, but I think it speaks to this saint or sinner syndrome. That's what I'm calling it. The saint or sinner syndrome we have in modern American politics these days, which is if somebody becomes a central figure in the news cycle, they either have to be all good or all bad. So let me just, and no one is like that. Okay, so let me just talk through Abrego Garcia in this context. So to Democrats, he is a guy who has basically been kidnapped off the street, even though he was living in the United States. He was had a work permit. He was married. He had 3 kids. And he was not supposed to be sent to El Salvador. He is this good guy trying to live the American dream, who the Trump administration has absconded into another country and refuses to help get back. And this is a massive, not only miscarriage of justice, but constitutional crisis. Okay, then the so that's the saint view of Abrego Garcia. Then the Republican view is this is a gang member, bad guy who was in this country illegally, who Democrats are standing up for, even though they really shouldn't be. That's the sinner version of Abrego Garcia. Now, the truth of Abrego Garcia seems to be like, again, the truth for all of us, somewhere in the middle, neither saint nor sinner. So he did come to this country illegally from El Salvador in 2011. He does, on the other hand, have a work visa, 3 kids, and a wife. He did, as Republicans gleefully surfaced earlier this week, there was charges of domestic abuse, although his wife, girlfriend at the time, now wife, dropped them or said they weren't exactly accurate, but that did happen. On the other hand, it's clear that a 2019 legal order from a judge said he could not be sent back to El Salvador, and the Trump administration has done so. My point here is that both sides engage in this ridiculous point scoring that tries to present this guy either as an angel or a devil, right? Saint or sinner. And I just think it ill serves our dialogue. We can have a conversation that is about whether this guy should have been sent away, whether he should be brought back. I think the answer to both those questions is he shouldn't have been sent away and he should be brought back, even if he is then given due process and deported. I think that's the right thing to do. But my point is the oversimplification of who Kilmar Abrego Garcia is happens all the time in our modern politics, because we can't accept that just because something has happened to him that he could be in the gray area. He's not a perfect guy, it seems to me. I also don't think he is the devil incarnate. I think he's complicated. I think there are good things about him, bad things about him. Again, I just, the way our dialogue in this, our political dialogue in this country works is incredibly lowest common denominator. It reduces people to a flat 2-dimensional image where you're either good or you're bad, and you're all good or you're all bad. So you either are totally wrongly being treated poorly, or you are totally rightly being treated because you deserve every little bit of this. And I just hate it, because I think it is bad for what I'm trying to solve for, and what I think a lot of people who check this stuff out are trying to solve for, which is, how do we get back to a place where we can recognize that just because we're on different sides of the aisle doesn't mean we have to be enemies at all times, and doesn't mean we have to suspend logic and everything we know about people to make an argument and score political points. And he is such a great example of this. If you watch Fox News, he is the worst person in the world. If you watch MSNBC, he is an absolute martyr. He's probably not either of those things. In fact, I think he's almost certainly not either of those things. And I just wish we could acknowledge that and say, it's okay, even if he's not perfect, I still don't think this should have happened, or even if he's not perfect, I still think this should have happened, and we can debate that as opposed to trying to create this guy as something that he isn't, which is either a saint or a sinner, because none of us are. All right, everyone. If you don't subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. It's easy. It's easy and free. What could be better? Free and easy. Those are 2 things I always like in life. Take care, and have a good weekend.